it's all about the clap back. Get your boss whacked, Premier's funeral on Snapchat. You now tuned into the bag.
The sky's gray, it's like this every day. The town is full of predator, I'm turning a little prey. I flip $1 million out of nothing, make them feel a certain way. Hoping that the switch.
What's good, y'all? Fist Vegas, the hardest voice of sports. Go ahead, hit that like button and subscribe to the Fist. You know why you at it. Y'all know what time it is. If you ain't with it, you best get with it. Now let's rock. Listen, hit that sub button. Trying to get the 5,000 by the draft. You know what I'm saying? If I don't get the 5,000 by the draft, I'm pulling up. I'm pulling up. You don't need to know nothing else. I'm pulling up. I'm gonna let you sweat and get nervous and cry in your pillow about what I'm gonna do to you when I see you. But just know, if you don't contribute to me getting the 5,000 subs by the draft, I'm pulling up. You understand? Now with that being said, I like Mac Jones. You know why I like Mac Jones? Because Mac Jones is the type of quarterback who's gonna come in, get shit done, and not get hurt all the damn time. You know, I have this theory, and I've been speaking on it for a while now, that quarterbacks that are too athletic and think they can run around and make plays, they always get hurt. I can't think of one mobile quarterback not named Russell Wilson who don't get hurt once a season. Let's call it what it is. Aaron Rodgers, always hurt. Mahomes, always hurt. My guy Daniel Jones, always hurt. RG3, Dak Prescott, Carson Wentz. I mean, damn, the list goes on and on and on. It seems like these athletic quarterbacks, they seem to do too much. Trubisky, he's another one, always hurt. Deshaun, he was hurt to start his career. Andrew Luck. It seems like it's always the quarterbacks that actually have the option to take the hell off are the ones that always get hurt. So what I'm saying is, if I was a GM and I'm looking at these quarterbacks, I'm like, you can't tell me Justin Fields and Trey Lance, who I'm all the way out on Trey Lance. I don't believe in Trey Lance at all. And freaking Zach Wilson and Goldilocks, you can't tell me they throw the ball that much better than Mac Jones. I personally believe Mac Jones is probably the most polished passer of the group. I mean, let's be real here. He's better than Tua. And all I heard for a 2 to 3 year stretch is Tua's the most accurate quarterback in the SEC. And he's this and he's that. We got to tank for Tua. Tanking for Tua was a thing until Joe Burrow threw 60 touchdowns. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, y'all hyped up Tua. Y'all was sucking Tua off like y'all was a paid porn star. Mac Jones is better. He's better. Why are y'all shocked that Kyle Shanahan traded up to get him? If Kyle Shanahan is in love with Mac Jones, why are y'all shocked? Let's go down the list here. Okay? So, his dad wanted Kirk Cousins over RG3. Okay? Mac Jones, Kirk Cousins, I can see the similarities. Who did Matt Ryan win MVP at 4? That would be Kyle Shanahan. Mac Jones, Matt Ryan, I can see this resemblance. Jimmy G, who I left out of this conversation to start my video, who's always hurt, he runs around and does too much. You really think Kyle Shanahan wants another quarterback that's going to run around and do too much, or do you think he wants a quarterback that's going to follow the play script? It adds up. CJ Beathard and whoever the hell else he has a quarterback, don't they kind of remind you of Mac Jones? Who the hell, other than RG3, who the owner made the Shanahans get? Jay Cutler, you know what I mean? I know Jay Cutler had the arm, but as far as like their play style, Mac Jones is similar. So I'm looking at the history here and I'm like, Mac Jones makes sense. Who the hell does Justin Fields remind you of that the Shanahans play with? Kyle Orton back when they was in Denver. I mean, I'm looking at the situation logically here. Justin Fields, it doesn't make sense. Zach Wilson's gonna be a Jet. Stop the cap. Trey Lance, stop. Stop the Trey Lance shit. So I'm trying to understand how a guy in college who threw 41 touchdowns and 4 picks can be underlooked. He threw 41 touchdowns and 4 picks. Oh, but Fisk, he had Devontae and Jalen and Najee Harris. He had all those weapons, Fisk. That's not fair. I'm sorry. How many first rounders does Joe Burrow have? Does Justin Jefferson ring a bell? Does Jamar Chase ring a bell? So, I mean, you can't fault Mac Jones for having talent around him. I'm sorry. You think Clemson is getting also rans? I mean, come on. You think Justin Fields out there in Ohio State is playing with secondhand recruits? No. They're not Daniel Jones. They're not Josh Allen or Carson Wentz from, guys playing from schools like Duke and North Dakota and Wyoming and shit. They're not that. When you're talking about the Mac Joneses of the world, the Goldilockses of the world, the Justin Fields and stuff, like, yo, these dudes are coming from powerhouse programs. So you can't use talent as a knock to bring one guy down. You can't do that. So I personally believe Mac Jones is going to do great in San Francisco. I think it's the perfect fit because he could be Kirk Cousins. Let's just say Mac Jones' floor is Kirk Cousins. That's a stable quarterback for the next 10 to 15 years. And quite frankly, all he has to do is be able to make that play that Jimmy G doesn't, and they're Super Bowl champions. You think Mac Jones misses that throw to Emmanuel Sanders? Because I don't. So I'm actually on board with Mac Jones going third to the 49ers because I personally think Mac Jones might have the best career out of all these quarterbacks. Because I think Goldilocks is he's not gonna be easy in Jacksonville. Urban Meyer's a first-time NFL head coach. I mean, it's not gonna be easy in Jacksonville. This guy Mac Jones goes to the 49ers. He's on a Super Bowl contender from day one. When those boys get healthy and all their pieces are there, the Kittles and the Bosas and all that other shit, that's a Super Bowl ready team immediately. So I don't even see what the discussion is at this point. If you're not on the Mac Jones train, you're gonna get left behind. There's no need to hate on Mac Jones. There's no need to try and mock Justin Fields or Trey Lance to the 49ers. No, they're taking Mac Jones. If you just look at the history of the Shanahans, and then I'm just gonna employ logic to you, right? 9 out of 10 times, once you have whatever the number one issue is with your girlfriend, when y'all break up, you get a girl who does the opposite. So what's the number one issue with Jimmy G? He runs around and get hurt too much. You really think the Shanahans are gonna take some athletic quarterback that wants to run around and do too much? No, they're gonna take the guy who's gonna be stable in the pocket, who they can control, and is gonna do things exactly the way they say do it. Not run for 50 yards against Kansas City, and instead of going out of bounds, he wants to get an extra 10 yards and tear his ACL. Just saying. We ain't forget about the dumb shit you did, Jimmy. But that's it, that's all. Subscribe to the unit if you're rocking with me. My name is Fist Vegas, and I approve this message.